So I showed my wife something that she had never seen before on YouTube. Don't hug me, I'm scared. But what I found out was that there was a sequel set of episodes created literally for broadcast television over in England on Channel 4. And the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared TV series was an additional 6 episodes. However, these were 20 minutes apiece. And every single one had pretty high quality because they were given a budget. And I gotta say, episode 2 cracked me up a lot. So, just like the original series, it's extremely random. It looks like it's a kid's show, but it gets really weird and dark towards about the halfway point. And um episode 3 was probably the one that creeped everybody out the most, but so did episode 6. Episode 5 was just kind of silly, but episode 2 is the one I think was the funniest one of the bunch. So, um, you have three puppet sort of things, basically like a Muppet. You have the crow like bird, you have the yellow guy, and you have the red guy. And one of the jokes is nobody knows their actual names, or they actually never say their actual names, and nobody knows. Um, so the only episode that kind of toyed with the names was when the bird was being buried in episode 2, and the gravestone said Dave, but that wasn't his name. And he's like, it's the wrong name. Um, so usually with Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, every episode has like some sort of weird thing that comes in and sings a song where they learn something. Episode 1 was a briefcase talking about work. And then they went to work in a factory where it went from being, pretty normal to very, very weird and disturbing. Like with the vending machines. So the first one gave everybody a lasagna and cigarette and black water, which that was like a theme. Like for some reason, black water, maybe oil, who knows exactly what, was the drink. And the bird, because he didn't have a lunch token, had to go to a different vending machine, and it looked like it was just shooting out diarrhea onto his hand. Um, and it gets even crazier because it just devolves into complete madness before the end of the episode. Episode 2 begins with the crow having a newspaper, and it says, "Oh, I'm definitely dead." And they go through the shenanigans of burying the bird, and then he comes back at the end, but they made a second one. And then at the end of the episode, one of the two of those die because they get their head chopped off, but we're not certain if it's, the original or the sequel, the second one. Episode 3 was the one about a fake family. And the only thing I'll say is they basically abducted some of the characters because they wanted to order a family sized dinner, but they needed a mom. And if you want to know, that one gets real weird. Episode 4 is, where they're being mean to each other. This worm comes in and just, tries to get them to be friends, and it gets, again, shenanigans afoot. The cat is playing with a toy in the other room, running back and forth, so awesome. And then chasing like one of those little ball toys or whatever. Episode 5 was when they tried to escape in a car, and they're driving for a long time, and it just gets, a little weird and kind of sad at the end. And then episode 6 is when yellow guy gets new batteries in him, so then he becomes smart, and then he begins to understand the existence that he's in, and it's pretty neat. Little dark again, and it all just basically resets at the end. Um, I do hope that they're gonna make more. The creator said that there's no like actual connection for the story. Um, just that it actually is just simply, just whatever randomness that they throw together, which is fine. But I was a little surprised we actually finished it all. My wife really liked it. um I watched the original 6 episodes several years ago when they first were coming out. But the sequel series I hadn't seen. In fact, didn't know about it until I was going through Analog Horror, and one person who covers like theories on what these different Analog Horror series were doing also covered this series. And that's when I found out that there were 6 more episodes created. Which, if you want something that's weird, funny, a little bit creepy, definitely check it out. It's fun. Don't hug me. I'm scared.